Hi everybody, I would like to do a follow-up video on my LEICA Philosophy video. First of all, I would like to mention and thank you all for a few views that I got on that video. I think we're at like 11,000 now, and for a very special video that I think is a sign of appreciation, and for a lot of comments too, because I'm doing this for fun and for fun and to get other people's opinions on things. That's why I very much appreciate comments. I do also appreciate critique. And I very much appreciate a discussion, a constructive and civilized discussion about certain things. And that puts me in a kind of difficult situation when I get negative comments that, in my perspective, are not constructive, if they're emotional or something. Now, I know that Leica is a sensitive thing because it's a very expensive camera. It's not a professional camera as it is designed, and to some people it may seem absurd that somebody buys a camera like this. So I would like to go through some of the comments that I got and just discuss or explain to you what makes me very happy, because there are a few comments that I got that really make you feel good. And some of them are, for example, let me just pick out one. For example, this user, Eric Greau or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. It's really hard to say where people come from. And he tells us that he's a Leica user himself. He uses other cameras too. And he exactly points out the aspects that make Leica special, the simplicity of using it, the full control of what you're doing. And this is basically what I try to express also in my video, and also like the heritage that you take along. And he's showing us some of his photos, and really I suggest you check out his Flickr page, because it's really interesting to see what other people do. And this is also one important thing I would like to say. If somebody criticizes me, I have no problem with that. If somebody thinks they're better than me or do things better than I do them, absolutely no problem. I mean, I'm only marginally a professional photographer, and I do it for the fun of it, and that's the way I want to keep it. And that's why I know there are tons of photographers who are amazingly better than I am. And what I appreciate in those situations is if I can learn from them. So if you think your photos are better than mine, show me your photos, teach me, show me how to improve my photography. That is something that I really, really think is important. So let me just go to another one. Here, I had seen it before. Yeah, this user, he's telling me about his or her father's history with Leica, and the way, for example, Leica refused digital photography up to not so long ago. They just didn't believe in it, and they were proven wrong. So that was they went a wrong way for a long time in that. And it's really something nice to see how Leica especially has influenced some people's life in terms of photography. And I really, really love reading these comments, because they show that the meaning Leica has in my life with photography is shared by so many other people. And some really go into the details of quality, and what I tried to express in my video was it's not necessarily about the quality in itself. It's about the fun, assuming you do it for fun. If you're a professional photographer, do sports photography, there's absolutely no doubt Leica is not for you. But you know, it's the thing you want to do, and if the thing you want to do is having fun taking photos, then this is the right way to go. So there's another one, and this is a point that I tried to get into in the video itself, but I would like to go in a little bit deeper in this follow-up. The question of obsolescence and technical progress. I think that now we're at a point with full frame cameras and the resolutions that we have where the improvements you get with a new generation of camera is mostly about maybe pushing the ISO limits a little further or putting features into the camera. For example, I'm using the Sony A7 Mark II now, and technically it's a great camera because you have in-body image stabilization, you have a great autofocus system, you have all those things. But in terms of image quality, so if we look at the actual image quality, we are at a level that is where improvements are really going to be minor. So if I get a camera that I feel good with and I can work with the way I want to work with it, this is basically the pinnacle of what I can get. Now, in my case, for example, for certain projects, I do have these modern new cameras that give me certain features that a Leica, for example, does not give me. But if I'm like out for fun, I really prefer to take this one along because it feels better, and the fun is not only the picture you take, but the process of taking the picture. So that's my point of view. Some people may agree or not. But what I really see is some negative comments, and I just would like to get into it a very little bit, because if somebody criticizes me, as I mentioned before, I have no problem with that, if it's a constructive criticism. If it's something emotional and that hints to, I don't know these people, so it feels, for example, there's sometimes some envy in it. Now, I'd like to point out that I wouldn't suggest you buy a Leica just because you have the money. And if you're not interested in photography and doing it seriously, even as a hobby, don't get a Leica, really. I mean, if you just want to take some nice pictures, snapshots or something, you may actually want to get a high-end digital DSLR or mirrorless camera, and you will take probably better pictures than with a Leica, where you really have to concentrate on what you're doing. But before criticizing somebody and calling them posers or snobs or something like that, you really should know more about the people. And say, for example, if I decide not to have a car because I don't need it, or I set my priorities differently, I can take the money I would spend on a car and buy myself a Leica if I want. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what is more important to you. I, for instance, don't own a car because where I live, I don't need one. And if I want one, I can borrow one or rent one. And I prefer to spend the money that I would spend on owning a car, not just buying it, but owning it, on cameras and traveling and spending time having fun or doing things that I enjoy doing. Thanks for watching. If you stuck through it until the end, I'm happy. Maybe you want to subscribe. I try not to do any of these philosophical things anymore, or maybe I will, because maybe it's the fun part of it. So if you like Leica, good. If you don't like Leica, as good. But if you don't like people just because they have Leicas, and if you even, and really this one I have to say, if you really consider stop using your Leica if you have one, because other people you don't like use it, then your reasons for using it may be wrong. So, sorry, but I think that was necessary. So, yeah, I wish you all a great day with or without Leica, with any camera you have. If you enjoy photography, I think, yeah, you should go on and go that way. If you're doing it professionally, even better. But don't let anybody tell you what you should buy or not buy. This medium, YouTube or the internet, is great to gather information about things that you like or are interested in, but don't let people turn you off your way just because they have an opinion that does not that is not compatible with yours. Thank you very much and have a great day.